اجتمعوا على طاعته والذين تفرقوا على الاجتماع لطاعته مرة أخرى، كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم: 7 يظلهم الله في ظله يوم لا ظل إلا ظله، رجلان تحابا في الله اجتمعا عليه وافترقا عليه. My dear brothers and sisters, I welcome all of you, and I thank you all for giving me the opportunity to address you and for giving yourself the time for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to sit and listen, giving you the glad tidings of the saying of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, among those people who will be in the shade of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when there is no shade except His shade subhanahu wa ta'ala. 2 men or 2 women met for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for the purpose of obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and when they split, they do that for the purpose of meeting again for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My name is Hasan, Khalil. I am an Imam at ISAT, Islamic Society in Arlington, Texas, better known as Center Majid, and we are coming here to share the message. What is the message? La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah, and everything that revolves around that word, all the teachings of Islam, coming for the purpose of sharing that and for the purpose of keeping that and teaching that and improving that and instilling that in our hearts and the hearts of our generations. I give you the glad tidings of the saying of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, saying: "Majtama'a qawmun fi baytin min buyutillah yatluna kitabahu wa yatadarasunahu baynahum إلا نزلت عليهم السكينة وغشيتهم الرحمة وحفتهم الملائكة وذكرهم الله في من عنده." Glad tidings where Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, no group or no believers meet in one of the houses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the masajid, the most beloved spot on the face of earth are the masajid. They meet يتلون كتاب الله. They recite the book of Allah. They understand the book of Allah, or trying to understand the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They're discussing and understanding the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What happens? Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, the tranquility and the serenity will descend upon their hearts from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Meaning, you feel so content, you feel good, you feel relaxed, you relieve your worries. You feel like there is nothing important in life except just being here. You feel good. That is one advantage. The second one, وَنَزَلَتْ عَلَيْهِمُ السَّكِينَةُ وَغَشِيَتْهُمُ الرَّحْمَةُ. The mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala encompasses all of you. So you are dipped in the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala right now. And then he added, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, said, وَحَفَّتْهُمُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ. What is a better situation than having the angels, the most or the closest to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most obedient, the most powerful, as we know, all surrounding us. Meaning that shayateen has no room here in the houses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala where angels are. And then, وَذَكَرَهُ اللَّهُ فِي مَنْ عِنْدَهُ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning your name before the angels. Look at my servant meeting in Masjid Abu Bakr, listening and learning and seeking knowledge to know me and to serve me and to obey me, talking to the angels. Look at my servant, mentioning your name, showing your status before the angels, the most obedient. To the point that in a different narration, it says that there was one person among those people who were listening, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, be my witness to the angels, that I have forgiven my servants, all of them. They said, oh Allah, there was a person who came for a purpose. He's not coming to really sit and listen to the lecture. Look at the answer. هُمُ الْقَوْمُ لَا يَشْقَى جَلِيسُهُمْ. They are the kind of people that anyone who is associated with them is going to be blessed regardless of what his motive is. This is an encouragement to do what? To always know who you are with, to know who is your friend, and how to choose your friend, because your friend takes you wherever he goes. And if you think you're hot shot, don't think so far, because easy to do bad things than to do good things. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us with the self, the nafs. And this nafs tends to do the easy things. And the easy things is to do what you like, not what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala likes. It's easy to just live your way, what you like you do, like animals basically. But to live according to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants, that's not easy. That's hard. وَالَّذِينَ جَاهَدُوا فِينَا لَنَهْدِيَنَّهُمْ سُبُلَنَا. Look how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts it. جَاهَدُوا فِينَا. They are at war with themselves, striving against themselves, against the shaitan, against the dunya. To obey us, we will guide them. It's not those who will follow our path. No, جَاهَدُوا فِينَا. It is an actual war between yourself and your heart. Which way to follow? So when you know who you are with, the result is always good. If you choose the friend according to how close he is to Allah. Now, one of the understandings of the scholars, you meet with a person, I'll give you an example, just a living example. You come into Isha prayer. You called your friend, Assalamu alaikum, where are you going? We're going to Masjid Abu Bakr. There's a sheikh who's coming, a visitor who's going to give a lecture. Let's go pray Isha and sit and listen. MashaAllah. What a meeting. What a friendship. What a call. What a call. They come down. After we finish, when you say Assalamu alaikum to your brother or to your sister, you say Assalamu alaikum brother, I'll see you at Fajr. اجتمعوا عليه وتفرقوا عليه. When they split under a promise to meet again for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is one understanding. Or, if I have you as a friend, then we have a problem together, and I want to abandon you, no longer my friend. It is not for a worldly matter, for a personal issue. It's because you are disobedient to Allah, and I'm trying my best to correct you, and you are not listening. I don't want to be drifting with you. I leave you for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because you're a disobedient person, and I feel for myself. Not because you hurt my feeling, not because I have a personal problem with you, not because of any of those desires. Look at how the friendship. Now, how can you deal with a person? How can you deal with a person? Or how can someone attain these qualities? Meeting, seeking knowledge, knowing Allah, calling one another, making da'wah, without really being raised in an Islamic environment. You think the home is enough? You think if I'm a sheikh and my wife is a sheikh and I have children and I take care of my children, you think that's enough, that's going to save my children? I spoke with a person today. Today I said, where do you go? You go, do you know that Islamic school over here? Is it high school? Is it middle school? He said, high school. I said, what grade you're in? And then he mentioned, he told me, and I said, you go there. And he said, no, I go to public school. And I said, but why? I mean, don't you want to go to Jannah? He said, yes, I want to go to Jannah. And I said, would that take you there? Let me ask you a question. Can you tell me how you pray there? I really want to know. Where do you pray? He said, there is no time. I said, what do you mean? He said, we don't have time to pray. I said, and you think doing that, and you still think that you're going to Jannah? Don't you think? What is your job? Now this person, we're going to blame that person? Or we're going to say, what happened to the fathers and mothers? This is like one of the wise people say, عَجَبًا لِلْبَشَرِ عَجَبًا لِلْبَشَرِ يُنْفِقُونَ أَمْوَالَهُمْ في هذه الحياة الدنيا وينسون آخرتهم وهم قد خلقوا للعبادة فانشغلوا بما خلق لهم ونسوا ما خلقوا أو ما خلق لهم. It's an amazing thing that people spend their wealth on something that is created to serve them. Dunya. Why Allah created dunya? You know what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said about dunya? He said, وَسَخَّرَ لَكُم مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ جَمِيعًا مِنْ for you. He subjugated, He created everything in heavens and earth, all for you, from Him to you. Why? So you can serve Him. So you can serve Him. Everything in this universe is to you for the purpose of serving Him. Now, people are busy with this life, which is created to help him to get to the hereafter. It took him away rather than helping them from the hereafter. I'll tell you like what. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us about the believers and about the disbelievers. The believers and the disobedient people. Look what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said. إنه كان فريق من عبادي يقولون ربنا آمنا فاغفر لنا وارحمنا وأنت خير الراحمين فاتخذتموهم سخريا حتى أنسوكم ذكري. Focus on that. حتى أنسوكم ذكري وكنتم منهم تضحكون إني جزيتهم اليوم بما صبروا أنهم هم الفائزون. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, there used to be a group of my servants who meet in the masajid, who go to Islamic school, who sit in places discussing and learning and talking and educating themselves about me, asking me to forgive them, asking me to guide them, then addressing the disbelievers and disobedience. They said you took them, you mocked them, you made fun of them, you laughed at them, you belittled them, you done everything negative about them, and you used to laugh at them until, listen focus, making fun of them and laughing at them got you so busy in doing it, you forgot what you're supposed to do in this world. You're supposed to worship Allah. You're supposed to seek guidance. You're supposed to educate yourself. You're supposed to think, to ponder. You used your time to make fun of them and you forgot why you are here. Until the day of judgment comes. إِنِّي جَزَيْتُهُمُ الْيَوْمَ بِمَا صَبَرُوا. I have recompensated them. I have given them the reward that I have promised them, to the believers. Not only that, Bima sabaru. You think it's a piece of cake when someone laughs at you the way you dress, or the way you look, or when you are praying, and this person who's laughing at you could be your father, could be your mother, could be your brother, could be your friend, could be someone from your country, could be someone who speaks your language, could be another Muslim. You think that's easy? You think that's easy to accept it and to swallow it and to continue on the right path when everything around you almost the opposite of you? It's not. It requires a lot of patience. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, I have paid them for the patience that they have persevered for my sake. In another ayah, in Surah Al-Mutaffifin, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ أَجْرَمُوا كَانُوا مِنَ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا يَضْحَكُونَ. Disbelievers, wrongdoers, they used to laugh at the believers. وَإِذَا مَرُّوا بِهِمْ يَتَغَامَزُونَ. When they pass by, look at that guy. Look how funny he looks. Look how he's dressed. Look what he's doing, what he's saying. Or when they pray. Okay? وَإِذَا انْقَلَبُوا إِلَىٰ أَهْلِهِمْ انْقَلَبُوا فَكِهِينَ. Look how evil they are. And when they go back home rejoicing as if they're doing something good. What did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say after that? فَالْيَوْمَ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنَ الْكُفَّارِ يَضْحَكُونَ. What counts is what? The final thing. It's not over until it's over. The final thing is the believers laughing at the disbelievers the day of Jannah, reclining on their seats in Jannah. Brothers and sisters, this dunya is like a cup of coffee. How many of you like coffee? Okay, tea with dude. Hot tea. Think of it this way. One great professor, he met with his students. After what he taught them, long time after that, graduated, got their jobs, had reunion with their teacher at his home. Sat with them, greeted them. Each one of them already has a profession, has a family, and have his own things. Went, came back with a pot of coffee and another pot of tea. You have the choice, milk and all that, it's all you can serve yourself. And then he said, help yourself. Before he did that, how are you, how you doing? Well, I got the job and I'm working like this and I'm married. Then immediately each one of them start complaining about life. Too much stress and too many promises and too many pressure and too much and too much. So he got in the company and said, enjoy yourself. But what did he do? He gave them cups, crystal cups, silver cups, plastic cups, Chinese cups, paper cups. He gave them expensive cups and very cheap cups. And he said, everyone serve yourself. Everyone likes coffee, everyone likes coffee. Everyone likes the tea or the coffee, you have it there. Serve yourself. And he watched them. Each one took a cup, filled their coffee, and he was watching everything they're doing. Everything, everyone has his stuff, and he was just looking. He said, did you notice something? He noticed that every one of them picked the most expensive cup and put the coffee. He said, every one of you picked the most expensive cup. Not only that, and every one of you is looking at the cup of the other person. And it's the same. As if he's got something better than his. He said, what you really wanted is coffee, not the cup. You want to drink the coffee. It doesn't matter what you put it in. That's what you're looking for. And he said, and now you're looking at others. This is like, you find a person, he's married to a beautiful woman. She is righteous. And she is really good. But for some reason, he always thinks that his friend has a better wife than her, than him. For some reason, he keeps thinking that other women are better than his wife, or they're more obedient, or they're more beautiful outside, or a person has a good home. Then he always thinks that his friend's home is a lot better than his. You're busy looking outside. You could not enjoy what you have and what you have with you and possess. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created this dunya for you, and He promised you the hereafter. The hereafter is your cup of coffee. It is served to you in dunya. Dunya is the cup. You get a job, you get a profession that helps you to get to the hereafter. And many of us, and most of us, are busy in themselves with what? With this dunya, which is a mean to get you to the hereafter. You should not worry about what job, what profession you have, as much as how close it is getting me to Allah, which is the hereafter, which is the cup of coffee that I want to enjoy. Listen to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He said sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, من بات آمنا في سربه معافا في جسده عنده قوت يومه فكأنما حيزت له الدنيا بحذافيرها. If you spend the night safe, healthy, and got food for one day. You're a king. You own this world. Because these are the three means of happiness. If one of them is missing, you cannot enjoy your life. Rich, healthy, but you're frightened. How can you enjoy your life? Okay? Safe, rich, but you're too sick. How can you enjoy it? Healthy, safe, but no cash. How can you enjoy your life? Three ingredients, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and all those three is to provide for you the right environment to serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why do you think Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was given the permission to leave Mecca to Medina, to migrate? No longer safe to spread the word. Threatened to be killed and to be expelled, and that's why he left to At-Ta'if. No safety, we cannot spread the word. Time for us to move to some place. Imagine, 50 miles, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he walked on foot in the heat of the desert just to tell people La ilaha illallah. Doesn't he have an excuse? Oh Allah, I can't give that word. Everybody's against me. They will kill me. Good enough. But when you love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how can you rest? How can you relax? How can you shut up? How can you be quiet to not talk about the one you love? People say secrets about their family, which is haram, simply because they're too happy. They got to share it with someone. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we claim we love Him. But how much do we talk about Him? How much we invite people about Him? How much do we, how can you be quiet? Did you know that a major punishment that a person can have, if you're a true lover of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if someone prohibits you from speaking about Him? It's the ultimate disaster. It is the killer. You would prefer to die than to not be able to talk about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam left for that. When we talk about Islamic school, one thing comes to my mind. When we send our children to public school, what do we talk to them about? Boyfriend, girlfriend, haram relationship. Don't. Don't you ever. Pork? Oh. So no. Make sure you ask what kind of meat is this. Thank you, Dad. I will do that. 5 years old, 6 years old. Don't worry, Dad. I got faith. I will step in front of the line and investigate the soup and everything that they serve and make sure that no pork and no ham and all of those fancy names for a same pig. I will do that. Drugs, a'udhu billah. Don't try anything. Okay. What is your son going to do, or your daughter going, if they cannot be with boys and girls, and most of the girls haram, most of the boys on drugs, most of the food, pork and ham. So why don't you build a school for me, Dad? Just one school for me, so I'll be there and make sure that I stay away from those. On top of all of this, how many, and you ask the children, and you ask yourself, how many times did we say, be aware of shirk? Allah is one. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has no partners. Allah doesn't have a son. Allah doesn't have a wife. Tawheed, la ilaha illallah. Be aware of that. Make sure not a single mention. With all the children that I spoke, the parents, you ask yourself, how much do we care about that? Okay, your son doesn't eat pork. Your son doesn't share anything with women. Your son doesn't deal with drugs. Your son is an angel, but your son doesn't know anything about Allah. Your son doesn't know what shirk and what is tawheed is. Your son already can confess. What's the big deal about Jesus, the Son of God? MashaAllah. What is going to be accepted from that person? Nothing, the day of judgment. How much do we worry about that word, La ilaha illallah? How much do we really understand it ourselves? Is it just simply saying it? Is it just simply saying it? Wallahi, sometimes, brothers, you drop the word or the advice and it falls in the right place. And it's like a seed that's already there, just needed some water. And someone comes and pour a glass of water, doesn't really want it, getting rid of it. It comes on a seed and that seed grows to be a tree. And sometimes a person may say a good word because he's good. Doesn't really think that this person is going to come back to Allah or to stay away from haram from that word, and all of a sudden this word grows up. Look what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Ibrahim. وَمَثَلُ كَلِمَةٍ طَيِّبَةٍ كَشَجَرَةٍ طَيِّبَةٍ أَصْلُهَا ثَابِتٍ. Tawheed, brothers. أَصْلُهَا ثَابِتٍ. The roots of it are firmly dug in the ground. I know Allah. I know who's Allah. I know how powerful He is. And I know how merciful He is. And I know why He created me. And I know what He can do to me. And I know I have to obey Him. And I will obey Him. أصلها ثابت. I have those fundamentals. وفرعها في السماء. Well, those fundamentals grew in my heart. And the heart has actions. The actions of the heart gave a command to my limbs. That's why Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said about the heart is the king and the limbs are the servants. ألا وإن في الجسد مضغة إذا صلحت صلح سائر الجسد وإذا فسدت فسد سائر الجسد ألا وهي القلب. So this tawheed isn't here. It gave fruit. أصلها ثابت وفرعها في السماء تؤتي أكلها كل حين بإذن ربها. It's bearing fruit all the time. What does that mean? That means I know Allah. I grew up on knowing Allah. I know what it takes. I love Him so much because I know Him. And I can't keep my mouth shut about Him anywhere I go. تؤتي أكلها كل حين. All the time. At work, I speak about Allah. In the street, I speak about Allah. Believers, I speak to Him about Allah. Disbelievers, disobedient, I'm always having Allah on my mind because I love Him. And the fruit is all the time. That's why the believer is like what? A palm tree. مثل المؤمن كالنخلة. The believer is like a palm tree. You tell me about palm trees. Very strongly firm. That's what believers are. If I keep telling you, brother, manners and manners and manners and manners and manners and manners, okay, you got the manners. A calamity stricken you. You have nothing about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Immediately, you flip upside down. That manners doesn't get you anywhere. Why? Because you don't have the basis. This is like someone, you give him calculus before he has algebra. He's going to fail. Because he doesn't have the basics. He doesn't have the things that helps him to go to that. And the same thing. That's, brothers, what we do. That's what we do when we bring our children to Islamic schools. When we bring our children to the masjid. When we have Sunday schools. And when we have weekend schools. And when we have lectures for the youth. As if the youth needs it and we don't need it. Why do you think the youth are not really well educated? Because we're not. Because we don't talk about that. How often do we have lectures about Tawheed? How often do we have lectures about Aqidah? How often do we can we really understand this in practical life? Which is, you think, more important? Actions of the hearts or actions of the limbs? Salah, Zakat, Sawm and Hajj. We always talk about that. But when was the last time we spoke about tawakkul, reliance, fear of Allah, hope and fear and sincerity and patience and all of those actions in the heart that makes you so strong and that controls the outside. What did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say about salah? وَأْمُرْ أَهْلَكَ بِالصَّلَاةِ وَاصْطَبِرْ عَلَيْهَا. Command your family to pray and you be patient on it. Is salah hard? Honestly, this is a question. Is salah hard? Raise your hand if you say it. It is hard. Jazakallah. He's the only person who knows the salah. You know why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said it's hard. قال وإنها لكبيرة إلا على الخاشعين. It is a great thing. Ask any of us, if it's not that hard, why we don't pray on time? Why we don't pray all the time 5 times? Why we don't do it in the right time, in the right places when we do it? Why we don't give enough time for it? Why we cannot have khushu' in it? Why it's not the thing that we jump to do, like Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, وَجُعِلَتْ قُرَّةُ عَيْنِي فِي الصَّلَاةِ. Why salah became the most lovable thing to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam? Anyone can tell me. Why? Why? Na'am? طيب, that's why salah is the most beloved. What is the most beloved act to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? أحب الأعمال إلى الله الصلاة في وقتها. The most beloved thing to Allah is prayer. If I love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He loves the most the salah in its time, then I jump to it. From this whole world, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam كان إذا حزنه أمر هرع أو ذهب إلى الصلاة. When something becomes real tough on him, when you're really in a hurry, you go to salah. Brother, I have to get there in 5 minutes. It's okay, pray, brother. Go ahead and, brother, that's going to delay me. No, brother, it will not delay you. You think that way. Be positive. Allah loves it, and Allah doesn't want you to go because you might die. Pray. Now this person, no, I got to run. Then he goes, battery is dead. Find a jump and get a friend and all of those things. You're late for your work. But if you prayed and you got 2 minutes late, the car immediately starts. The traffic that usually red, Allah changes it to green. You got on time. The boss who's waiting for you by the minute did not attend that day. The clock that clocks you in broke down today. Look what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can do, things you never thought of, you never think of. This is like a person relying on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I rely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَمَنْ يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ إِنَّ اللَّهَ بَالِغُ أَمْرِهِ. If you rely on Allah, He's sufficient for you. وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ. Allah will give you avenues of rizq if you leave your job simply because it involves haram. If you leave it for that, Allah opens doors for you never thought about. You're an engineer, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will open a door for you in something you become a businessman all of a sudden. And a successful businessman. And business was never on your mind. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to take care of you. You relied on Him. And how can we instill all of those things, brothers, without taking care of our children? How can we expect someone to come and stand here and lead the prayer who not just simply recites Quran, who understands what he recites and can teach what he recites and can be a real leader who knows to whom he is reciting? إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَتْلُونَ كِتَابَ اللَّهِ. تعرفوا شو معنى التلاوة؟ التلاوة هي القراءة وهي الاتباع وهي العمل. You make tilawah, that means you recite it. It means also you understand it. And it means also you act upon it. And it also means you don't leave it for something else. I get in the car, I start the engine. What pops in the radio? Hip hops, right? Because this is halal music, right? I'm sure you heard it somewhere. Now you have faith in the heart. depending on that faith. High level faith, subconsciously, you push that button. It shuts it up. Little faith, take that seatbelt and put it and everything and all that, and you heard enough, turned down not the music you like or not the song that you really care for. You turn little by little. You may even leave it a little bit, back sound, and you do that. Based on your faith, you behave. You find another person, the minute he gets in the car, Quran's playing all the time. Or station that, maybe news or something. How do you get that? This is just something that the child grows on that. If he hasn't seen his dad listening to Quran all the time, Wallahi al-Azim, I remember times when I turned the radio, when I turned the Quran off, the children, you see, Baba, put the Quran on. They grew with it. They love it. It's so relaxing. Wallahi, a Christian woman, her husband drinks alcohol, and he wants me to talk to her to wear the hijab. And she knows what's halal and what's haram. She's not a Muslim. And then she's telling me he's drinking alcohol and he wants me to do this. She said that when she hears the Quran, she feels so relaxed. She doesn't understand. It's relaxing. It's the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You mean to tell me that people are not going to grow if you teach them on that? What's the difference? I have one from Islamic school and one from public school. And there is haram. This one knows that shaking hand, for instance, with a woman is haram, sitting and mixing and all that. And this one, the one who knows, does it. And the one who doesn't know or doesn't care, or he grew up without knowledge on it, does it too. Are they the same in the sight of Allah? Absolutely not. Is it the person who doesn't pray because he's lazy or because he get turned away for whatever reason, like the person who tells you, we don't have to pray? This person is kafir. This person is disobedient. He gets punished, but he goes to heaven. This person will never enter heaven because he denied it. Is the person who falls in the disobedience like the person who denies that it is a disobedience? Do you think that when we have our children in Islamic schools, they're going to be angels? Wallahi, brothers, if you have full time in your house, and full time in the school, and full time in the masjid, and full time everywhere, you will get small portion of those who really will be satisfactory to most of us. Imagine if you don't have anything. Wallahi, the wudu, brothers, in the school, the wudu and the simple things, and salam alaikum. We say it day and night, left and right, every second, all that, and then you have students like you never mentioned it to them. Now, how about those that we never hear about? Brothers, it's us. It's us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, فَلَنَسْأَلَنَّ الَّذِينَ أُرْسِلَ إِلَيْهِمْ وَلَنَسْأَلَنَّ الْمُرْسَلِينَ فَلَنَقُصَّنَّ عَلَيْهِمْ بِعِلْمٍ وَمَا كُنَّا غَائِبِينَ وَالْوَزْنُ يَوْمَئِذٍ الْحَقُّ فَمَنْ ثَقُلَتْ مَوَازِينُهُ فَأُولَئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. I and you and everyone is going to be questioned the day of judgment about that, about yourself and about your children and about your wives. كُلُّكُمْ رَاعٍ وَكُلُّكُمْ مَسْئُولٌ عَنْ رَعِيَّتِهِ. But the question is, even the prophets are going to be questioned. وَلَنَسْأَلَنَّ الْمُرْسَلِينَ يوم يجمع الله الرسل فيقول ماذا أجبتم قالوا لا علم لنا من هول الموقف لا يتذكر كيف أجابهم قومهم لا علم لنا إنك أنت علام الغيوب. They come to the prophets. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, what did your people answer you? They said, Allah, we don't know. You know everything. Nafsi, nafsi. Nafsi, nafsi. Prophet Adam said it. Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam said it. Prophet Nuh alayhi salam said it. Prophet Musa alayhi salam said it. Prophet Isa alayhi salam said it. All the prophets said, myself, myself. They cannot even intercede for a small sin. What's the sin of Prophet Adam? He ate from a tree that he was not supposed to. Was he forgiven? Yes. فَتَلَقَّى آدَمُ مِنْ رَبِّهِ كَلِمَاتٍ فَتَابَ عَلَيْهِ. It's over with, it's done, it's a small sin, it's over with and done. Yet he said, I made a sin. Oh my God, I know Allah. I know Allah, I should not even make a single sin because He has done so much to me. I cannot come and tell Him, oh Allah, start the day of judgment because I did something wrong. I don't have the guts to do that. The respect was not given to Allah because I disobeyed Him. Each prophet has something to say about that. And we are so confident. We don't care much. We think that we are forgiven. And we think that Allah is merciful. And we think, yes, He is merciful. But to whom? To whom? To those who come? To those who repent? To those who do good? To those. Inna rahmati wa rahmati wasi'at kulla shay. Who gets it? فَسَأَكْتُبُهَا لِلَّذِينَ يَتَّقُونَ. It is due to those people who have taqwa, not to everybody. Islamic school. Our children. Do we give the money? So when you spend it, where do you spend it? Then after that you die. And then your children fight over it. And then what are they going to do with it? Spend it the way they grew up. And you're sitting in the grave waiting for them. You did not enjoy the money. And you did not fulfill your purpose of existence. And you did not educate. You failed to even have an excuse before Allah. Allah says, you have children. What did you do to them? I told you that the responsibility. Oh Allah, I sent them to Islamic school. I taught them, I did my best. Allah says, yes you did. Your son might not even go to heaven. But you did your job. And you're rewarded for it. But if you say, oh Allah, I was busy. I had to work to provide for them. Wow. لا نسألك رزق نحن نرزقك. Don't worry about that. We'll provide for you. Working 10 hours and missing the prayer is not going to make you money. And if it does make you money, it destroys you from other ways. Working enough and fulfilling, Allah will bless your money. Allah will bless your time. Allah will bring you money from anywhere you don't think. Your money is written for you before you're born. 120 days when you are in the womb of your mother, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends an angel and He commands him to write your sustenance. How much you're going to get paid an hour, what final position you're going to have, and how much money you're going to earn in your life, and when you die, how much you have. It's written. It's over with. It doesn't matter what you do. Does that mean I stop? No. Why? Because I don't know what's written for me. Allah wants me to work. But within His commands and within fulfilling why I'm created here. Not just go and ignore everything. Do we do that? No. We don't. But when I care and you care, our children all will care. And if I fulfill and you fulfill, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will facilitate everything for us. Brothers, we're supporting your school. And we want you to support our school. And we want you to help us. Because when you help us, you're really helping yourself. When you help yourself, Allah will help you. When you help in guiding someone to one thing and he does it, all the time he does it, it comes in your righteous deeds. And there is nothing better than seeking knowledge. Nothing. Ask me a question. Nothing better than seeking knowledge. Anyone can challenge that. Is there anything better than seeking knowledge? I mean, after the obligations. Nothing. Nothing. What is the highest striving in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Is it better than seeking knowledge? No. You know why? Because without knowledge, you don't know why you're doing it, and you don't get credit for it. Because without knowledge, you don't know how to pray, and you don't get credit for it. Because without knowledge, you don't know how to give the charity. Because without knowledge, you don't even know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so how can you serve someone you don't know? Knowledge is everything. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not say la ilaha illallah. He said, fa'lam annahu la ilaha illallah. Know what la ilaha illallah means. When I say no deity worthy of worship, it means I better pray, otherwise I did not fulfill that. La ilaha illallah. What worship you're talking about if salah is the top and number one thing? How can we get that to our children? It's me and you. It's our responsibility. You're not a sheikh, but you have cash. You're not rich, but you have allowance. You don't have too much money, but there are some people who are lower than you who can. What's your allowance? $10, I get it from my dad a week. Give $1 from it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for educating children. How much money extra you have a month? $100. Give $10 from that for the sake of Allah. Do you want to become rich? This is the way. 10 minimum to 700 to more. Do you believe that or you don't believe that? It's up to you. Prophet Muhammad swore on it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised it. Do you know Allah? Do you know He ever failed His word? No. Then why you don't do it? It's one of the two. Either you don't like to be rich or you don't believe in what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised. Which one is it? We need someone, brothers. Okay, give us $1,000 for this. Someone who believes in the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I know that we have done the Friday fundraiser. And I know some people gave. And I know some people wanted to give. And I know some people promised to give. But you can never have enough of the mercy and rewards of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Can we have one brother who was willing to give $1,000 for this school to keep and maintain and call and promise? Jazakallahu khairan, brother. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it a protection, a light for you in this dunya, and a light for you in the grave, and a light for you in the sirat. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Can we have a second brother, inshallah? Inshallah, this is brothers going to students. They come in the morning. They pray Tahiyatul Masjid. If they have more time, many of them pray Duha. They listen to a reminder 10-15 minutes. They go to class, Muslim teachers, separations, full hijab, all the courses and the topics that you have, secular and Islamic. They pray Dhuhr in congregations. The school is in the masjid, environment Islamic. Everything. I told the students, I told them, you know what? I said, just being here without learning anything, you are gaining rewards. Because being anywhere else, you're gaining sins and you're not doing it. And you're supporting that cause. Can we have a second brother, inshallah? $1,000, inshallah, brothers. Someone who says, yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will compensate and will give. Even you may not have the money right now and you have the promise to give it. Can we have one brother? One brother, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestow His bounties and blessings upon you and guide. Wallahi, some brother told me, I give the money from here and I go outside and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you the money from nowhere. Why? Because Allah knows how to give and knows how to compensate and He never fails His word. 1 second, brother, inshallah? 1,000? Allahumma barik ya Rabb. Allahumma a'ti munfiqan khalafa. Let me just remind you of this ayah that tells you who you're dealing with. Allah said, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَتْلُونَ كِتَابَ اللَّهِ, those people who follow the commands of the book of Allah and act upon, أَقَامُوا الصَّلَاةَ, establish prayer, give their charity, آتُوا الزَّكَاةَ, يَرْجُونَ تِجَارَةً, they're looking for a trade, a commerce that will never fail. لَن تَبُورَ. What happens if you do that? لِيُوَفِّيَهُمْ أُجُورَهُم. He's going to pay you penny by penny and multiply. وَيَزِيدَهُم مِّن فَضْلِهِ. Give you a lot more than what you want, including the hasanat which you don't deserve. He's giving it to you that qualifies you to Jannah. Why he's doing that? إِنَّهُ غَفُورٌ. He forgives the big sins. Shakur. Very grateful to little things. This is the one that you're dealing with, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Can we have a brother who can give 1,000 for this guy? MashaAllah. Allahumma aftah alayk ya Rabb. A second 1,000 from the same believer, MashaAllah. This is the meaning of reciting the ayat increases the faith. The faith is in the heart. The heart gives command to the tongue to say yes or to the hand to be raised to give. Why? Because of what's in the heart. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, brother and sister, Hasan al-Basri, you know what he said about him? He said, ما سبقكم بصيام ولا زكاة ولا صلاة ولكن في شيء وقر في قلبه. faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that let him go, that made him act on that. Can we have one, brothers? One. Barakallah feek. فتح الله عليك وجعلها الله سببا إن شاء الله في رزقك وفي حمايتك وفي وقايتك من النار أنت وأهلك وزوجك. بارك الله فيك. Can we have another person? Another person, 1,000? 1,000 brothers? Allahumma barik lakum ya ikhwan. One brother. Students, you can act because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. Wallahi, even Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Juhdul Muqil is the best sadaqah. The one who really wishes to have more and to become rich, his charity is a lot better than anyone else. Why? Because it means you are giving what you like. لن تنالوا البر حتى تنفقوا مما تحبون. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you much. A woman gave a drink, a prostitute, to a dog because she's sincere, she entered the Jannah. Can we have a sincere final 1,000, inshallah, sincere brother who gives for the purpose of keeping La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah? One brother? One? 5 brothers? 500, inshallah? 500? One person? 2 people? Figure 2 people, 500? One here. Barakallah feek. Jazakallahu khairan. Fatah Allahu alayk. Can we have another 500 brothers? 1 500. 1 500, inshallah? 1 500? Wallahi, give it on behalf of your wife. Wallahi, those wives are neglected. Wallahi, most of them. They rely on us to give their charity. And they think that when the husband does it, they automatically give it. It doesn't work this way. You have to give it for her. In her name, I'm giving $1,000 or $500. Anyone loves his wife? $500 on her behalf? Nobody is married here. Any married person who likes to give $500 on behalf of his wife? Now,
he loves his wife.
MashaAllah, the same man, he loves Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his wife and the Imam and the whole world, man. Jazakallahu khairan, brother. He loves everything that goes for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Barakallahu feek. And we have another one who loves his wife, $500. Okay, you said the price for him, for donating on behalf of your wife. If you love her a lot, you give 1,000. 50%, 500. Quarter percent, 25%, 250. Top 250 on behalf of your wife. Not you, your wife. Nobody. One brother, 250. Type 250 on behalf of your mother, and you will get divorced. Mother, mashallah. I guess you don't have a wife, brother. He doesn't. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant you a righteous wife who will help you to be more obedient to your mother. Jazakallahu khairan. We have another brother, Jazakallahu khairan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it in your righteousness. Brothers, do it for your mom. For your mom. حَمَلَتْهُ أُمُّهُ كُرْهًا وَوَضَعَتْهُ كُرْهًا. Every second was hardship for your mom. Given that, it's going to please her if she's alive, and it's going to make her really happy if she's dead too. Can we have another one on behalf of your mom? 250. Jazakallahu khairan. Barakallahu feek. Fatah Allahu alayk. Another one, inshallah. Mom. 2 more moms, inshallah. 250 on behalf of your mom. وهي Jazakallahu khairan. Barakallahu feek ya akhi. Last person for your mom. 250. Brother, your mom, mashallah. Fatah Allahu alayk. Allahumma a'ti mumfikan khalafa. Mashallah. 4th time he's donating. Wallahi, brothers. Wallahi al-azim. Ma naqasa malun min sadaqa. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ 3 times swore, your money will not decrease from charity. It will not. He doesn't need to swear. Let's go back to 100 on behalf of your wife. Wife? Well, I know you're not going to do that because you don't. Okay, brothers, we have 10, 100, inshallah. Just on any behalf, inshallah, you have an intention. Jazakallah. 250 on mom. Barakallahu feek. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make you a righteous son. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help you take care of your mom like she take care of you. If we have, brothers, 10 people, 100, inshallah. You make the intention while you're doing it. And inshallah, we will conclude. Can we have 100? 100 there. Jazakallahu khair. Second 100, brothers. Second, barakallahu feek. Third 100. Third 100, it's like $10 a month. MashaAllah. Barakallahu feek. Fourth 100. Fourth 100. You know, cups of copies these days, you pay $4 or $5 and you give a tip for $2, $3. Like some brother, he did not donate, and then he goes out and he gives in tips $50 and $60 for something trivial. And dealing with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, some people don't. Can we have fifth one, 100 brothers? 100? 100 there, barakallahu feek. 6, 100. 6, 100. 6, 100. We have some young ones, 50. $50. So you can't say, oh Allah, it was too much. What? $50? And by the way, don't belittle anything. Because Allah knows what you can and what you have. And it is your choice to spend whatever you want to spend. I don't have to force you on that. It's between you and Allah. Can we have 50? 50. Jazakallahu khairan. Barakallahu feek. Second 50? Second 50? Brothers, I trust that you will give whatever you want to give. The brother is there, I'm here, $5, $10. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you. أسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يكافئكم وأن يرحمكم وأن يجعلها في خالص موازين أعمالكم. May Allah make your seconds that you spend here in your righteous deed. May Allah bestow His blessings when you're going home, when you're leaving the masjid, when you go into your house, when you leave in your house, when you die. When you see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you remember those seconds. Not only those who gave, inshallah, those people who supported, and those people who listened, and those people who did what they can do to keep the word of La ilaha illallah. Jazakumullahu khairan. Barakallahu fikum. I thank you again on my behalf, on behalf of the community in Arlington, Texas. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless the administration. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless the masjid and bless the community and make you all signs and powerful to keep the word of La ilaha illallah subhanahu wa ta'ala going. Barakallahu fikum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa jazakumullahu khairan.